Hey, Joanna, what are you doing?
Hello, actually, I was in the midst of harvesting sweet potatoes, and Julie called to say she's not going to be able to make it, but has some questions to throw out at the group.
Oh, so you're guest hosting.
So, well, I'm guest hosting until anyone else wants to do it, but I do have some questions that she wants us to deal with.
Awesome.
How's it going, Mr. Troy?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. We could barely hear you if that matters to you.
Because I'm so far away from the speaker. That's a little bit better.
I haven't been on in a while. Do people typically come, like, should we wait about 5 minutes? Should we get going? What do you guys want to do?
I would give it a few minutes for people to hop on.
Okay. So let's see, what was I going to say? Never mind. So Troy, in the inspection business, are you doing a lot of pre-inspections, or are you seeing an uptick in that, or no?
It's actually slowed down from April to probably September. About 50% of our business was pre-offer inspections.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because I'm hearing it from the realtor standpoint, waiving inspection by having a pre-inspection is one of the strategies. So I would have assumed pre-inspections are going up, but.
Yeah, it's become less because they started allowing open houses now.
Uh-huh.
So now you don't have, before it was like everyone had like 2-hour slots to go visit a house. And so they'd book their inspection at the same time before they'd even seen the house, right? So that way they could put in the offer. And then you only had like 16, 20 people who could put in offers. So that was a strong strategy.
I want to be in the world people have offered on my listing. You say it like only, it's like, well, that would rock my world.
Well, makes it more competitive, that's for sure.
Okay, how many people? So as for those of you that were on earlier, Julie may pop in at 12. She is so freaking busy. So right now she's actually at an inspection, but business is running her way and so exciting for her. But she does have a few things she wants us to take note of before we go to her agenda. How about you guys? Does anyone have questions they kind of want to group think on? And just so you know, anything that isn't handled in this call or answered to your satisfaction, I'm taking notes, and Julie will follow up with you directly after this call. So anything anyone needs help on or questions they've got?
Can you hear me? I'm Walter Terry.
Walter Terry, we can hear you. How are you?
Good, good. How are you? How's everybody else?
Good.
I talked to Keith and Julie about a project, and I'm just waiting for them to hear back from them. She's supposed
Oh my God, Terry, I was at your house. I actually shot a note to Julie to see, we do have some options for you, and apparently if you're asking, we haven't given them to you. So I'll follow up with her right after this.
Okay, and get a hold of Keith. Keith, the bank, it's mainly the banking thing that I really need to go to further, make
So
I can't make a decision without the banking information, the loan information.
Walter, give me your either your email or your phone, and I'll shoot you Keith's info right now.
Okay, I have Keith's info. I was hoping he'd be here too.
Okay.
So I emailed them. I emailed them both. I think on Monday, saying, I I don't want them to drop everything they're doing and help me, but I told them both, I'm a sales guy. I'm gonna keep reminding you. Keith
No
needs to
worries.
get-
And I just Keith a note asking if he's going to join in on here.
Okay, and Keith knows what I need from him. And I know they're both really busy, so, and mine's not on top of their desk. I don't expect it to be. At some point in time, I do need information. I do need Keith to give me the two loan options, you know, the pricing and how much it's going to cost. Is it possible for me and my family to keep my mom in the house? Or I know the other way is possible. I mean, I have $300,000 I could borrow and put down and do all that.
Right.
That's the easy part. But the other part, we really would like to keep my mom in the house, and that loan, that financing is much more complex than just buying the house, flipping it, and selling it. That's kind of complex for most people. For me, it's not. So.
And you know what I would do too, Walter, is I would, after a couple of days, I'd probably call Keith again, just because I think he gets slammed and it's good to reconnect again.
Yeah, I told them both, you know, I understand they got $1 million deals and stuff going on, and I'm not that, you know, I'm new to them. So I will call them probably tomorrow. I usually just, you know, send a text or just send an email, because I don't calling some people that they're in the middle of a meeting and it interrupts their day. So I just try to, you know, softly keep in contact with them, you know, send an email, send a text, just say, don't forget about me. So
I can say for Julie, text is what works. Calls and emails seem to go in a black hole.
okay, that's
Just my thought.
Right.
I don't know if anyone else has.
That's why I'm here. So I think I'm going to text them both tomorrow. Then just, you know, send them a little text. Don't forget about me. You know, you don't have to drop what you're doing right now and help me, but just sometime get that
No
information
worries.
to me.
Okay, Walter, we'll get you taken care of.
Okay.
Anyone else have questions or situations you want some group think on? Okay, then I'm going to throw out a few that were on Julie's mind. Is anyone running into low appraisals? Yes, no?
We say loan appraisal. You said
Low appraisal.
Oh, low appraisal. Okay. I would like to know about that, because I'm going to have to face that to get the loan. Why are appraisals coming in low? I'm curious now, because what's happening? Why is that question being asked?
Because we're hearing rumors around the Seattle, actually the Seattle Tacoma area, the whole northwest region, is that when because we have such a scarcity of houses, there's a lot of bidding and bidding wars, and so by the time it gets up to whatever's been escalated, which is great, the problem is then if the person has a loan and if it's not a cash buy, the lenders obviously send out an appraisal, and if it doesn't appraise at what the sell price is, or the agreed to sell price, then the buyers need to either come up with that money or they back out, depending on how the contract's written.
So why are things appraising below market value? I mean, the market value is the market value. What homes sell for, that is the value. You know, you can't dispute what someone paid for a house. And if your house is exactly like theirs, that means your house is worth the same as theirs. So why would it appraise differently? Because the market fact is that's what it's worth.
Well, sometimes people are so excited to get in a house, they bid up over asking significantly. So at that point, it's not really driven by the market. It's driven by somebody has love for that property and will do what they need to get it.
So that is so.
Unless someone else has something else to add to that.
So this is an aggregate number. These aren't aggregate numbers. These are individual cases where things are being appraised. It's not an aggregate that the market's being underappraised. You're saying individual properties.
Individual property to justify the amount of a loan.
Okay. Okay. I was thinking things are, you know, it's a market problem, but you're saying it's an individual problem. That makes sense. Okay.
I'd assume too that we're seeing some seasonal adjustment. You know, Seattle normally has a seasonal price adjustment right around now. but the market's not responding to that. But the appraisers still have to bake that into their calculations.
Why do they bake a seasonal in, Troy?
Historical data. They've got to use historical data, and they can't just, you know, they're always still looking 6 months back, even though the market 6 months ago was completely different. When you're using a seasonal adjustment to the pricing, you got to look over a longer period.
Okie dokie. Okay, thank you for that. Anyone have anything else to add on the appraisal thing? No? Okay. How many landlords do we have on the phone? All righty. Here's the big old question. How's the rental market going in terms of if you've had anyone leave your rentals? Is it hard to get someone back in? Are rents going up? Are they trying to negotiate down? And are people paying? Broad scope, go.
I'll go. Rents are declining in some areas. So specifically, the closer to the core of Seattle, they're going down the most. And within Seattle, specifically multifamily properties, condos, those rents are definitely decreasing and decreasing at a pretty fast rate now. They're getting faster and faster decreases.
We're talking like 5%, 10%, 20. What are you thinking?
I would say it's a good, it's definitely in the 10% range right now. It's because they can't use the amenities. So, you know, in a condo, you got an exercise room. They can't use the exercise room. They're also sharing common spaces like an elevator. And so in, you know, in a building where you got an elevator, you're either having now to wait multiple trips to try and get an elevator that's empty, or you're, you know, putting yourself in there in an uncomfortable situation, riding up the elevator with other people. And then there's also the amenities, even just single family homes that are kind of in the, you know, Seattle area where people like it because of all the nightlife, the restaurants. Well, that's all gone, right? So why pay that extra amount? So as people are flooding out, the properties that we've got in the east side, Kirkland, Bellevue, those are actually going up in value for us. And it's a result of just people wanting more room. And for the same dollar amount, they can get more house square footage, that sort of thing, than they can downtown traditionally. So it's definitely going down within the city.
Okay.
So will that turn around when this virus situation ends?
Yep. Yep. As soon as all the amenities are back. Yep. As soon as the restaurants, the nightlife, all the reasons to live downtown, as soon as all those reasons come back, then yes, the rents will definitely bounce right back up again.
Okay, so that's why they're still building all those condos then. The
Same with condos. Yep. In my opinion, yeah, it'll bounce right back.
Enrique, how many units do you manage now?
668.
Awesome.
So are the people that are wanting to move out of the core, I'm assuming you manage some there, are you kind of relocating them to other places that you have available that's further out?
Yeah, it's not often that we've got a match. Usually it's somebody leaves, but the new tenants that we're getting on our other locations are just flat out new tenants. It's pretty rare that we get somebody that transfers within us. So
are you as you have to rent new units, I know you talked about the rents going down, but is it taking longer to rent? Are there fewer rental peeps?
Yeah, no, it's definitely taken longer to rent. Now we're coming seasonally into November, December, January. Those are always the hardest months to rent anyway on a regular year. People just don't want to move as much during the holidays. And when it's raining, snowing, you know, it's just not that much fun to be carrying a couch through the rain. But But in addition to that seasonal demand slowdown, the virus is also slowing it down. So good in some respects, because the occupied units that we have, we're seeing less transition. So the number of notices to vacate that we're receiving is definitely down as well. So people are staying put. They're just not wanting to move around so much during the virus. But it works both ways. That if we've got a vacancy, then it's just sitting longer. Definitely not as many people coming out to view the homes.
Gotcha. Okay, Marianne, I think you had noted you also have some rentals. What are you seeing? Anything different? And what area are you in?
My rentals are in Florida, in Miami.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and I specialize in Section 8. Like those tenants usually don't move much. And like what I'm experiencing right now, and I just started this whole thing just a few months ago, and like I just had my first inspection from the housing department and it failed. So I have to deal with all that remotely and like fix up some mold and some other stuff in my rental.
That sucks. So if you're in Section 8, are you it may be too early to see, but are there any issues with late payment, no payment?
No, government pays on time. And okay. Yeah, and the tenant portion of that is not significant, so they don't have problem with that. And also that was the reason that I chose this kind of strategy.
Okay. Who else has rental units?
I'll second what Mariana said. You know, specializing in low-income housing, my rents actually went up with my rent collections went up when the government was writing $600 unemployment checks.
But they're not now. So are you seeing any impact?
Yeah, I've got I was able to squeeze in a couple of evictions in Michigan before they stopped doing evictions again. But yeah, as soon as that free money stopped coming in, man, my collections went right back to the way that they were. But the government always pays, so I've got probably 80% of my residents. They pay on time, and collections just kind of stream in throughout the month. But we get to about 92% every month. We haven't seen a whole lot of dip because we're in low-income housing and everyone lives on the government.
Okay. Anyone else with rentals that they want to share info on? Okay. Anyone have, now that more people are on, let me just say again, Julie is slammed today, so ask that we all talk within ourselves. So I'm just sort of moderating the discussion, and she may pop in, but may not. Any questions that we can't answer to someone's satisfaction in this kind of mastermind group think, I'm taking notes and I'll shoot them over to you and she'll follow up with you. So anything we can help peeps with. Have open houses affected any of you realtors out there as far as having more people or more offers since they opened up 2 weeks ago? Okay.
Well, Joanna, didn't you have a couple? How did those go?
They rocked the world. I don't know. Honestly, I'm pretty sure some of the people who came to the open houses actually wrote offers. On the first house, we had the strategy of have the pre-inspection and sewer scope done so that we could get the cleanest offers possible, because what we didn't want to have happen is someone put in the offer and then have a reason to back out of it. We wanted just solid, solid, solid. So a lot of people loved that pre-inspection idea. On the house that was listed last week, and actually offer reviews today, which is why Julie's not here. Or one of the reasons is we did not do a pre-inspection, and the house is, I think it was built in 1942. And I believe we had four potential buyers ask for or pay for a pre-inspection so that they would know what they're getting into, because it is, you know, an older house. So, but there was a lot of traffic. I've only done a few open houses, but before COVID, you know, maybe get 10 groups in for a day. Granted, it was at maybe not the sexiest places that I did the open houses. In this, we had a ton of people, like over 30, and I think one day 40 across the 2 weekends a day. So that was pretty good. I'm sure it was because of my stellar marketing, mind you, but it's a joke. Pretty much everyone's coming in on Redfin. But people seem just fine with the open houses. I'm really good at the whole cleanliness thing, reinforcing that everything's getting wiped down. No one has a problem with a mask, but literally wiping off pens with disinfectant cloths within their scene, you know, that sort of thing, having gloves on hand, etc. So nothing on open houses. What about properties out there that people are looking for? Anything we can help you with? Or properties you want to offload?
Hi, it's Cindy here. Hey.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, I'm fairly new to the group. My partner Gus is on here as well. He's been a part of the group for quite some time. And we are primarily wholesaling. We've done a few fix and flips over the years, but I'm wholesaling. And right now I do have a property in Shelton, and it's a really old timer fixer. So if anybody knows of anybody or wants any information on that, that'd be great. We just got it in contract. I just had it off to title yesterday. So that one's good to go. It's on 2 lots, water view in Shelton.
Is it on the water?
It's not on the water. It's right across the street, and it's kind of a hill. So the road is a little bit lower than this property. So when you're standing at the property, you look across into the bay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you all asking for that?
Right now, I'm asking $99 for it.
Does that include your fee?
That includes my fee. That includes my fee. So that would be as is, of course, buyer paying all costs, closing costs. It is, I have an option for inspection until the 26th of October. Gosh, my brain.
That's a super long one, or you're a time traveling, my friend.
Yeah, I'm still wishing we were in the summer. Yeah, so the 26th of October is our inspection period, and we're hoping to close by the 16th of November. The family wants to close before Thanksgiving, if at all possible.
Okay. I'd recommend, if you haven't done so already, post the opportunity on the Seattle Investors Club Facebook page. And
yeah, I've done that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I've done that. Have it out there. I did have a couple of my really good buyers go out and look at it. However, it was just a little too far for them and their crew. They're just looking for someone that might know anyone a little bit closer, a little more local to that area that wants to take on a project right now.
Very good.
Yeah.
Anybody else with deals they're looking for or they want to share? Anything else you want to talk about, or should we close out early? What are your all's thoughts?
Hi, this is Paul. I just wanted to see how everybody, I got in late, so maybe you already discussed how the market's still doing. But I was curious about that. And on Cindy's property, I went out, or my son did, and we liked it, but yeah, we were one of the people that it was too far for that much of a project. So the view was really nice. So.
Cool.
Thanks, Paul. Nice to hear your voice.
Okay, so how's the market doing in people's experiences? Justin, what are you seeing? I'll call on you because I know you.
It's multiple offers. We bought a flip up in Everett a few weeks ago, and I saw a comp that that sold for 305. We bought ours for 175. So I thought I'd throw it on the market. So I threw it on the market, had offer review yesterday. I got 4 offers. They were all below asking. And so I told them that, that I owned it. And I said, if I don't get this, it doesn't make sense for you to sell it when I can make twice as much in, a few months if I fix it up. So I said that, and now they're all coming back with higher offers. So we'll see. That it's, I'm surprised there's people that are buying it at what I have it at. But everyone's a little bit different. So so we'll see if I actually get it. But I'm looking at the numbers going, gosh, I can make 45 now, or I could, put the work in and make 90, right? And that's it's a bird in the hand or 2 really nice birds in a few months. So
right. Anyone else have something to say about market? I'll say in at least in my area, which is West Seattle, number of homes going on, not like with everywhere else in King County, super slow as compared to last year as well as month before, which again, it's kind of seasonal, and we're getting into the holiday time. So maybe people are a little reticent, but the reality is there's like tons of buyers, primarily obviously because of the interest rates. It's a great opportunity for them. So there's still massive amounts of demand. Seeing houses go like boom, boom, boom if they're priced well. And just talking to some other local realtors in that area, they are seeing multiple offers before they accept something. So that's at least the West Seattle. And from what I've seen posted on MLS, or some of the reports, or Washington Realtor, I'm not sure which, it does say, I think in West Seattle, we have an 8-day inventory or something ridiculous like that. I could be wrong on that number, but it's something super, super, super low. So demand is out there. If you want to sell, sellers can probably get a lot of money. Let's just say that.
I got to check out of the meeting, so I'll just wait to hear back from you guys a little bit later on.
Okay, thank you, Walter.
Okay,
I'll make sure Jewel gets back to you, and also Keith.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. I'll talk to you shortly.
Bye. So anyone else on that can give Paul some insight into what they're seeing in the market? Anyone having not issues, but challenges from a timing of loans, a timing of getting appraisals or inspections scheduled, anything like that you want to share? Okay.
This is Paul again, and we haven't had anything closed since September, but we had 3 in September, and we did a 45-day closing, and they still closed a little bit late. Not a lot, but it's just everybody's backed up, appraisals, inspectors, the escrow. Of course, I just had my best escrow experience in 2 years. So
who'd you use?
It was Doug at First American. I think he's in Puyallup, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, it just went wonderful. And even on our refis, we've been having just stupid challenges on. Mm-hmm. So, and then the other, well, we haven't been using our regular one because either the buyer or the bank, we buy foreclosures, pick escrow. And this one actually was, we bought through a bank, and it was their guy, and he was really inexpensive. So,
Well, good. That's good to hear. But yeah, anyone else having issues with challenge to get closed in 30 days if that's what was in your contract?
Yeah, I've had with Banner Bank, who's always done a fabulous job for me in the past. And these are on 2 properties that I'm purchasing for myself, 2 duplexes. And I originally wrote up a 45-day close, thinking that was going to be plenty of time. Actually, it's just going to be closing today. Got notice from the title company. They're going to send out a mobile notary for me. So
Congratulations.
thank goodness it's still actually happening. But we're just over the 3-month mark. And it was because Banner said that the excuses were everything from the underwriter who's working from home, their computer broke down, and it was going to take a while for Banner to set them up with a new computer because it has to be a secured one, and they weren't allowed to go to the office and use another one. And then, so that was a week delay. And to just saying that they're overwhelmed with the number of refinances and purchases due to the low mortgage rates out there. So I'm kind of looking for a new go-to US. Well, I've had some other banks that have done well for me, but I've always been promoting Banner Bank a ton, but they really, thank goodness the seller held with me. He didn't bail on me or charge me anything more to keep extending closing, but I was pretty nervous because it was a screaming deal.
Gotcha. Anyone else with those sorts of delays?
Joanna, who was the gentleman that was on our call that said he was closing everything in about 30 days? It's Rochelle's dad.
Cannot remember.
I know, I can't either right now, but I was pretty amazed that he said he was not having issues with that.
Well, yeah, and what was I going to say? On WSBU, I never get whatever the Washington Credit Union is. We had 30 days in the contract here recently, and inspection went through like a breeze, like everything went fine. And I called them and said, hey, can we close earlier? And they're like, we're ready to close in 2 days. Just give us 2 days and we can close. And so that would have closed at 21 days. So they were pretty like lickety split, but it was a pretty a solid loan. Like there was no issues with the house and there was no issues with the borrower. So all was good there. But they were able to just swing it on through.
You know, I found that his name's Arton with Loan Factory.
Okay. He was pretty impressive, and they seem to have, I have obviously not used them, but they have a phenomenal pre-qualification process that you can go over with your clients. If there's any realtors on here, shoot us a note and we'll get you that info. Okay, does anyone have anything else? I don't want to waste people's time, but we do want to answer any questions, concerns, or share information if you've got anything you want to share. Okay, going once, going twice. Let's call this a day, and thank you all for coming. Julie will definitely be back next week, and she apologizes for not making it here today.
Hey, thanks, Joanna, for running it today.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
All righty, bye everyone.